Welcome to Senior Chapel 2020. To begin this year's chapel service, I'd like to read to you your class verse. It's Micah chapter 6, verse 8. The Holy Spirit through Micah writes these words. He has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. The prophet Micah came from a little town outside of Jerusalem called Moresheth. Moresheth and all the towns and villages around Jerusalem and in the northern kingdom as well were about to be destroyed by the Assyrians. And Micah wanted to explain to them why and what was about to happen. And after he did so, the people said, what can we do? What kind of gifts can we give to God? What can we offer to God? And that's when he writes chapter 6, verse 8. He has shown you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly. That means to do the right thing, not to cheat or lie or steal. To love mercy. In other words, your actions come from the heart, from your willingness to do what is right and to serve your neighbor, to love your neighbor as yourself, and to walk humbly with your God. This means to understand that God is sovereign and he has a plan for your life. So I would like to open us in prayer. Father, thank you for your blessing. Father, I thank you for this special 2020 senior class. Father, I would ask that as they live their lives, that they would act justly, they would love mercy, and they would walk humbly with you. In Jesus' name, we pray. And now I'd like you to introduce you to Mia Hibbler, who's going to sing the first song.
Where are you now when darkness seems to win? Where are you now when the world is crumbling? Oh, I hear you say, look up, child. Hey, hey, look up, child. Hey, hey, hey. Where are you now when all I feel is doubt? Where are you now when I can't figure it out? Oh, I hear you say, look up, child. Hey, hey, look up, child. Hey, 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 look up, child. Look up, child. Hey, hey, hey. You're not threatened by the war. You're not shaken by the storm. I know that you're in control. Even in our suffering, even when it can't be seen, I know that you're in control. Oh, I hear you say, look up, child. Look up, child. Hey, 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 look up, child. I hear you say, look up, child. Hey, 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 look up, child. I hear you say, child, look up.
The car is a 1971 Carmen Ghia. It's painted canary yellow with black vinyl interior. In 1971, Volkswagen made 6,500 of them. It has four-wheel independent suspension, it has front disc brakes, dual exhaust, and it has a 4-speed stick shift. The engine, although it sounds impressive, is only 60 horsepower. So it doesn't go very fast, which is pretty good, because if you ever had to stop, the brakes don't work very well. And when you turn the steering wheel, it doesn't turn very well, and smells weird because Volkswagen used hemp in the seats. The windshield washer works off the air in the spare tire, and the trunk is located in the front, kind of like a Tesla. The horn sounds ridiculous. People laugh if you honk the horn. No one would move out of the way. It takes 2 men 4.5 hours to hand stitch the top. It has roll-down windows. The seat belts are scary. You pull this, torture device around your body and hook it to a loop in the center. If you ever got in an accident, maybe it should say pray. The brochure advertises a top speed of 85. If you go more than about 40, 85 seems like a dream, and if you went 85, you'd probably hit a paper cup on the sidewalk and disintegrate. It's scary. I'm Walt Jomini. This is Teachers in Cars Getting Coffee.
Walt, how are you?
Good, Eric. How are you? I'm coming over to pick you up to go get coffee. You ready?
I'm ready to go.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Walt. Eric! I recognize the sound of a Volkswagen.
No sound like it.
No. This is all I heard growing up. The only car we had growing up were Volkswagens.
Really?
Started off with, we had a 19, I think it was a 54 Bug split window.
Had the semaphores?
Had the semaphores and everything. I used to sit in that back little well. There's 5 of us growing up. This is the only Volkswagen we never owned because we couldn't fit 5 people in it. And I've actually never ridden one. But they all sound the same. That's a beautiful car though. I can remember going across the painted desert. It was 105 degrees in the back compartment. I'm in the back compartment of the square back with no AC. That would be child abuse today.
Yes, it would be. Yes, it would be.
It would be child abuse today, but it was good family bonding back then. So, yes.
Explains a lot about you today.
It does. It does. It does.
Okay, well, ready to go get some coffee?
Can't wait. This is the first time I've been in one.
And talk about seniors?
Here we go. It's a good group to talk about.
My guest today will be Mr. Eric Matthews, Westminster Academy super teacher. I look at the exit interviews from the senior class every year, and invariably, almost every student says they really appreciated having Mr. Matthews. He really taught them a love of history and a love of research. As a matter of fact, my own kids who graduated from Westminster many years ago had Mr. Matthews, and they loved him. Matter of fact, he also taught my daughter-in-law as well, because my son married somebody he graduated with. And then I taught all of Mr. Matthews' kids and his son-in-law. So let's go inside. I got my coffee cup.
You can see why neither Coach Smith or Mr. Buick could come with you on this ride because they couldn't fit in there.
You know, when we get back in the car, sitting in the sun, the seats are going to fry your thighs.
That's why I wear long pants.
Yeah.
I'm seasoned on that, I know.
Take a little trip and see. Take a little trip. Take a little trip.
Ooh, how do we get in here? That was easy. As we drink our coffee, let's take a look at some photos when this year's senior class started off in kindergarten and sort of made their way through elementary and then into middle school.
You got
and
these
then high
photos?
school. Yeah, I have these photos.
All right, I'd like to see these.
Let's roll tape.
All right.
Time it was, and what a time it was, it was a time of innocence, a time of confidences. Long ago it must be, I have a photograph. Preserve your memories, they're all that's left you.
A new tradition that Mrs. Hall started this year is to go to all the 5th grade classes and have them make gift bags for each of the seniors on the major holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving and so on.
I didn't know that.
Inside the bag is candy and a personal note to every senior from a 5th grader. Now, some of the notes are kind of funny. So to read those notes, I enlisted my grandkids and my niece and Mr. Jack's son, Aaron.
From all over the country?
All over the place.
Wow.
Dear Chase, I hope you find a great college. Do you like friendships? Do you wear deodorant? Bye-bye! Dear Megan, I hope you find a nice boy and study for your exams. P.S. Hope you do good in college. Love, Blake Elise, 5th grade.
Joey, hope you have a nice Christmas. Good luck on your exams. Love, Andrew. P.S. If you play Fortnite, what tier are you? For me, I'm 61.
Dear Patrick, I hope you have a great senior year / Valentine's Day. You look cool. We should be friends. Follow me on TikTok at Jiggly Noodle. From Izzy.
Hey, well, Mrs. Timmer, you know Mrs. Timmer?
Yes, I do.
She sent in a video about her teaching experience with these guys when they were in the 8th grade. Let's take a look at that.
I'd like to see that.
Hello, seniors. I had many of you in 7th grade Bible back in middle school, and I have a couple of stories from back in the day. The first one is about the class that met in Mrs. Perry's room. You guys, you were one of those classes, and we had a class period where I asked you to write a 500-word essay about what self-control was. And Luke McCartney, bless his heart, he wrote an awesome essay. He defended me as the teacher and criticized the entire class for their behavior. The only problem with his essay was that he dropped a number of expletives, and I was flabbergasted. So I handled things appropriately. He rewrote the essay, and yeah, that was one of those days.
Got another story for you about Patrick Mills.
Okay.
So apparently when Patrick found out that the Bradshaws had named their son Patrick, he said to Mrs. Bradshaw, "Oh, I see you named him after me, right?"
Sounds like Patrick.
Sounds like Patrick. And nonetheless, Patrick did become their go-to babysitter.
Really?
Absolutely. So that they took to calling him Big Patrick and calling their son Little Patrick. And apparently Little Patrick loves Big Patrick, so much so that the first day of school this year, Little Patrick wanted to dress up like Patrick Mills. And when he had his picture taken, he didn't want his picture taken with his teacher. He didn't want his picture taken with his mother. He wanted his picture taken for the first day of school with Big Patrick.
Boy, I'd like to see that picture.
I think we have it. I got another story from
Okay.
Clara Harms.
All right.
You know Clara Harms?
I know Clara very well.
Outstanding student,
Absolutely.
heading off to Duke.
Among many schools, she chose Duke.
Well, things were a little iffy in 8th grade. Apparently, when she was in geometry in 8th grade, a drug-sniffing dog came to the school, and they brought the dog into Mrs. Keatley's class, where Clara was a 8th grader in a 9th grade class.
Okay.
And wouldn't you know, the dog stopped at Clara.
Right in front of Clara.
Right in front of Clara. And started sniffing. The policeman said, I need you to open up your lunch bag. And what happened was the dog had sniffed her La Spada's ham sandwich.
That'd make me stop and stare too.
Well, it doesn't end there. Apparently, after the class, Clara goes down to the yearbook room and talks to her yearbook teacher and tells her what happened. The yearbook teacher laughs so hard, well, that she has to send Mrs. Bradshaw to go back to her house to get her a change of clothes.
Oh, that's a good story.
That's right.
Eric, do you know one of the most popular rooms in the school at lunchtime is room 208? Do you know that?
I've never been able to get in there during
Yeah,
lunch.
Mr. Baker's room. And apparently he has lunchtime competition awards, and he sent us a video clip giving rewards to the winners.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Hello, class of 2020. I am here to present the Room 208 Lunchtime Competitions Awards. And what happened often during lunchtime, we'd pull out the ping pong table and play some singles and doubles, daily competitions and tournaments a few times during the year. And our first recipient award winner is for our top ranking senior who made it to the doubles championships twice this year. And the best ping pong player for the seniors, the school year, is Stefan Swenson. Congratulations, Stefan. We have a commemorative ping pong ball for you that you can come and get when you're able to. Also, at lunch, we would play for the first and second quarters a lot of crazy eights. And we kept the tally of winners on the board over here. Our first winner, first place with 30 wins, is Stephen Grant. In second place, Josh Eliason with 23, and rounding up third place, senior, Dylan Wood with 11. And they have commemorative Crazy 8 mementos as well for Josh, Stephen, and Dylan. We also have a winner of the game that was played a lot during this last quarter, dominoes, and Islander was tired of winning all the Crazy 8 games and brought in some dominoes, and we played a bunch of competitions, and the person who won the most of them was, again, Stephen Grant, so Stephen can get this as well when you have an opportunity. Our last award goes to a person that I took a poll among the underclassmen, and this person was voted as the most convincing cheater award, and whether it be dominoes, crazy eights, or ping pong, the nicest person kind of got away with some cheating incidents that we tried to catch him on but had difficulty, but anyways, was voted the number one cheater in the group, and that goes to Stefan Swenson, so we have a commemorative Joker card for you. And that's it. Thank you. God bless you, and God lead you, class of 2020.
Eric, I taught Tony Ann Liu for the first time this year. You've probably had her previously.
2 years.
A smart girl.
Very smart.
But passes out in my class, every single class. Even in my business class, when I was having famous guest speakers in, I tried to bribe her to stay awake. And even then, I saw her eyes drooping and she would just pass right out. But apparently, my class is not the only class that she did that in.
That is not.
Did that in yours too?
Slept through 2 years of history with me.
Well, you know, Mr. Buitt decided, and no one would believe us, so Mr. Buitt actually filmed her falling asleep, and he used his Elmo to broadcast her sleeping to the class.
I got to see that. You know, I think Tony Ann actually did pretty good in high school. Imagine what would have happened if she had actually been awake the whole time. Well, you must have taught Audrey.
Audrey, yes, I did.
I had Audrey for 3 years. You don't want Audrey to know you have any money. She pretty much took all the money I had for every little trip and whatnot. I got to the point where my wife didn't let me even take money to school with me for fear that Audrey would get it for some trip. Now, Audrey, as you know, is kind of a quiet, demure
Yes, you
student.
never hear a peep out of her.
But Mrs. Gant has a video clip that she'd like to share about that.
Boy, I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Senior story. Audrey Aguilar slides in my room, has a lunchbox. She carried it everywhere. Must have had a bowling ball in it. Starts wailing on JJ Babin with it. He's cringing under the desk. I'm chasing after Audrey to stop. She's chasing after JJ. It's crazy. I love you guys, though. You're students of excellence.
Eric, did you go to beach day this year?
I believe I did.
Well, this year at beach day, apparently there were some parking problems. You know, it was a little bit different location, but this year, Anna Bokos was driving her car in using Janice Gow as the navigator.
I know them.
Which I think is probably a bad idea.
I think so.
Well, as she was pulling in, Janice started yelling, and Anna didn't understand what she was saying, and she drove right into Dimitri's car.
Oh, how did I miss that? I had parking lot duty. I don't know.
Another issue that popped up is Ariane Pasco decided just to park her car and do nothing and walk away. I call this a money misunderstanding, and we have a video showing what happened.
Let's see it.
Okay, so I came and I was like, okay, I don't need to pay the ticket. Like, it's fine. We're not going to be here for that long. And, like, my mom always comes to the beach and she's like, oh, I'm not going to pay. So I was like, okay, like, I'm fine. So I don't pay. And then I, like, go up and I, like, go have fun, da-da-da-da-da. And then, like, someone's like, oh, you're getting ticketed or you're getting a ticket by the lady. I'm like, that's fine. Like, that's fine. So I, like, come over here. I'm like, and I look and I see a freaking huge boots. And that's the worst thing. And I was like, what? And it's, like, expensive. It's not cheap. So pay your tickets. Yeah.
That's my advice to the underclassmen.
That's my advice to the underclassmen.
There we go.
Pay your ticket.
Mrs. Perry is always a hit on Senior Chapel. She really goes after each senior class.
She does.
But this year she told me she was going to play nice.
No, don't count on that.
We'll see.
Okay.
Roll tape.
Hello, WA seniors. I'm here, prepared with my poem. Roses are red. Well, this seems bleak. The coronavirus, such chaos did wreak. We can't be together. My poem is online. Your laughs I can't hear, nor when you whine. Do you want to be mentioned, or are you afraid that my opinion of you will be out there portrayed? Don't worry, 2020. Your class is quite kind. A classier group of seniors is very hard to find. But it's coming back to me now. I'm not too old to remember. Sophomore year, back in September, I was teaching with passion, but my confidence diffused when I realized Anna was shopping for a new pair of shoes. Sometimes you were quiet. I thought being polite. But then I realized you were all just playing Fortnite. And sometimes you watch while strangers did play. Isn't that right, Jonathan, Christian, and PJ? Christian played often but was left in a lurch when he missed so many assigned homeworks. No more Xbox for him, punished a week for each 0. I'm quite sure at that time I wasn't his hero. Cam Klassen and I got off to a rough start. He and Ethan and shenanigans, they often took part. Cam, remember when jail was coming for you? You needed service hours, just a few. And you got them that year. You kept out of the police station. Don't worry, everyone. It was a traffic violation. Josh came to class each day. I would glance and he would be smiling, singing while he danced. Donovan also has a wonderful smile and super cool hair. He's fresh and has style. Stephen Grant, have you seen, is chill and cool when he walks and talks. Hippest kid in school. Janae is amazing, smart, and very with it. She is determined, a leader with grit. She also has liked quite a few guys. They must be attracted to her beautiful eyes. Speaking of crushes, Dimitri, you may not know a certain young lady has noticed you, although shy is my girl and her confidence I can't lose. So pretend I didn't say this. I hope she's amused. Audrey has a crush I found out this year. He graduated 2 years ago, but lives quite near to me, you see. It's my son Chase, who she runs to see his cute, freckled face. JJ I love and prophesy later in life that JoJo Richter will one day be his wife. I like to say their names a certain way. It blows kind of nicely, JoJo and JJ. But then again, Audrey and JJ. Is he a crush as well? A marriage one day, only time will tell. When I go to eat at Outback, I cannot deny because Stephen works there and he is a little spy. He texts my son Chase and alerts him to my location every time I am there, the entire duration. Speaking of Chase, what about Lalonde? His recovery a miracle so far beyond the doctor's plan and became a TV star. With all that attention and fame by far, he loved being famous. No, that's not true. I asked him the question, but I already knew. He isn't one to be boastful or flamboyant or prance unless you've seen the video of he and Allie when he danced. He was a little guy, skinny with moves, but over the years his style has very much improved. Destiny Man was looking for me one day, but like magic, to her dismay, I disappeared, gone without a trace. No, not really. I was standing in front of her face. I taught Destiny and Dylan for 3 years in a row. Zach and Jonathan, I hate to see you all go. Speaking of Destiny, Margillis and Emma were planning senior talent. It was quite the dilemma. But then TikTok came to mind, and you all got your moves. Greater talent is hard to find. I loved watching you, and then like a bad dream, the room went dark. You had a plan with shaving cream. But it didn't work as planned. Screaming through the night, the underclassmen kind of bested you in your own fight. Spiritual retreat when you were freshmen, and Luke was your talent way back then. That kid has mad skills, like when Patrick barks like a dog, but Luke's main impersonation is Kermit the Frog. Frankie Wood in honors class talks to anyone and everyone. He never ran out of gas. I finally had to turn him away and he faced the back wall, but it did not pay. Frankie had lots of girlfriends throughout high school. This last one stuck around. Addison's pretty cool. Back in middle school, Alex Crow, as a filler, water polo did join. His nickname was Killer. He was little and played with a varsity team. It's a rough sport, not quite what he dreamed. Water polo I love, WA I represent. Watching Joseph, Frankie, Shy, Christian, Michaela, and Trent. It's a brutal in the pool. Things go down underwater. Our program is top. Other teams, we do slaughter. Speaking of athletes, it's not up for debate that some of our teams went on to states. Football and ladies soccer, you all are the GOAT. Making it to states, let me praise you and dote. So much talent at WA. Singers, musicians, and those in the school play. The sound of music is such a great loss, but you all are still gifted. You're the best. You're the boss. Your talent is real, like Hannah on the bass, and Mia when she sings, a stirring voice and pretty face. I told you when we started you were classy, although there is a set of twins, Ben and Elijah D'Angelo. I had heard these two together are tough, but I can handle anything. I was wrong. It was rough. Angie said she'd never seen me mad as when these two got me going. I checked the want ads. Maybe this was it. Quit perhaps I should. But Buick and Jomny said no, that they truly understood. Took a bit of time and lots of prayer, but now we get along well and now they fight fair. Elijah doesn't want to finish high school, but it's forbidden, my boy. It's a new WA rule. It's time to move on for all of you. The next step in life is waiting for you. The parade for seniors, you were with your peers, but then I looked and saw Hallie with her eyes full of tears. Hallie is precious. It struck me so deep, and I had to keep cheering so I would not turn and weep. Don't be afraid or anxious too much. God is with you always and loves you a bunch. And so do your parents. They want what is best, so lean on the Lord and in Him find your rest. This year is now finished, not like we wanted. It's unique and unexpected, but you stand undaunted. Class of 2020, you are loved and prayed for. Step into your future. Fly away and soar. Love you guys.
On Valentine's Day in 9th grade, Destiny Man received a rose bouquet from someone named Abraham. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I remember Abraham. I remember him very well. Matter of fact, for spiritual retreat, he didn't go on the spiritual retreat. He was the only one. And I was in my room that day, and they gave him to me to babysit him. I tried everything I could to get him to go away during the day, but he never left. And he said it's the best day he ever had this whole year. So I remember Abraham.
There you go.
So what did he give her?
I have no clue. I don't know what the video is.
Know your middle name, man.
You be my Valentine. Avery.
Hey, Walt, let's get one more look at Joey Pryor giving us the weather.
Oh, I loved him when they did that in chapel.
Roll film.
Welcome on back, guys, to another episode of Weather with Joe. The cold front is coming in through today, and it'll go back down to the 50s. So that's, I guess, okay. I'm not really particularly worried about that. I stay in my house anyways. But it'll probably slowly build up to be going back in the highs of the 80s throughout this rest of the week, and then until Wednesday, and it'll go back up to the 80s from there. But that's it for Weather with Joe. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next week.
We also have a video that Jessica Wang created about being on the newscast during the coronavirus.
Wow.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I'd love to see it.
观众朋友们，晚上好！今天是2月1日，星期六，农历2月初8。欢迎收看晚间新闻。首先向您介绍这次新闻的主要内容。这里为您插播一条紧急新闻：今日下午4点，又有一名中国邮递员死于新冠病毒。他最后一个寄的包裹是从中国到意大利，请物流公司检查前往意大利的包裹。现在让我们回到本次新闻的主要内容。
哎呀，天天都是一样的，都是疫情，看点别的。
They can't leave the house. They are incredibly bored.
Well, we have a special video from Hallie Nicole Lodge.
Really?
Yeah, apparently her coach thought she was going to be a great long jumper, and we have a video of her first jump. You'll note the similarity between her and an Olympic gold medalist.
All right.
Let's see it. All right, well, you know Cam Clausen.
I have him in class this year.
And you probably heard that on his way to soccer practice, he got pulled over by the police and was cited for going, what he says is, pretty fast.
How fast would that be?
I'm not sure, but it was fast enough where the judge gave him the choice of doing community service or going to jail.
What did he choose?
He chose, for some reason, to do community service.
Wise choice.
Wise choice indeed. So we have a picture of him doing community service at the baccalaureate reception with the court order in his pocket.
I'd like to see that picture.
I think we can arrange that.
Eric, just a few weeks ago, on May 8th, we had the Class of 2020 drive-by parade. It was unbelievable.
Very successful.
All the teachers were there cheering. The students and their parents were in the cars. It was a great experience. And we have some tape.
Let's see it.
Like, this is an incredibly sweet-spirited class. This is a class that has great unity.
However, during the drive-by parade, there was a slight issue. There was a BMW that came through with a couple students not wearing any shirts. Matter of fact, Mrs. Hall, who had arranged the parade, thought somebody who had crashed it because they didn't look like Westminster students. You know who it was?
I think I might, but I'll let you.
It was the twins.
Oh, well, no kidding.
I'm not surprised. Maybe you didn't know, and maybe other people didn't recognize the twins either because they'd been absent so many times. Lots of tardies, too. As a matter of fact, in my class on RedWeb, it always says, illness, parent note. And they'd been gone so much, I began to wonder, what could possibly be wrong with them? What could I do to help? So I went in a closet, and I got a great big plastic jug, you know, the kind you put money into, and I put a big sign around it that said, Save the Twins. And you know the class came through. They put their coins into there, and by the time the year was over,
how much did you raise?
$5.21, and a coupon for a mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A.
It's got to be worth another $2.
Well, I said, boy, I've got some money. I got to buy something medically to help them. So I called Nurse Sheila in the clinic, and I said, Nurse Sheila, what do you have medically that we could buy for $5.21?
What'd she say?
She said the only thing she could think of was a rectal thermometer.
Oh.
So I said, okay, we'll take it. So, twins, I'm sorry, there's only one of them, so you have to share. The other one can use the mac and cheese.
Sounds fair.
Eric, something I know you know, we've had a tradition here in my room since the class of 2011.
I am aware of that.
And every year since, every graduating senior dips their hands in paint and puts their handprint up on the wall. They then sign underneath it and put the college that they're going to in the next year. But this year, because of the coronavirus, we weren't able to do that.
So what'd you do?
So I arranged to have them done digitally. Each of the seniors traced their handprint and sent them into Caitlin Myrick, who digitally put it together with the colors of their school and their name and which school they were going to.
Wow.
She did a fabulous job, worked for weeks and weeks on it.
I'd love to see that.
So, seniors, when we play this video, know that this was done with a lot of love for a special class.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. Burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world was brought you down to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. No one could ever know me, no one could ever see me. Seems you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all the rest with. Someone I'll always laugh with, even if I was the best of you. Yeah. Stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there there for me too.
To close our chapel this year, Mrs. Groves has again provided us with a poem.
Hey there, seniors. I have a few things for you to take with you as you leave this place. Number one, you know we English teachers love our books, but remember this: don't let an author tell you what to think, unless it's the author of life. Number two, keep asking questions. God is big enough, He can take it. We worry when you don't ask, because maybe that means that you don't care. And number three, all of you, whether you had Mrs. Gage, Miss Cooley, Dr. Groves this year, we know you can write. So go to college and do it. Leave it all on the page. As we get ready for school in fall 2020, we will be thinking of you and we'll be praying for you. I have a poem for you. All four of my sons were lifers here, and I wrote this poem when the first one graduated. Since I'm a mom and a teacher, this has a little bit of the parent's perspective, but it's you, seniors, who are the subject of this poem. It's called Flutter Away. There it is, the fluttering. You can always hear it this time of year as they perch on the edge, wings flapping madly, oh so ready to take the plunge. This year it's deafening. I not only hear the fluttering, I feel it, right in the pit of my stomach. No, in the bottom of my heart. This year there are so many who've won a place in my heart. As I watch them turn and smile and wave, I see chubby little hands linked in friendship. I remember trips to St. Augustine, choo-choo train birthday parties, booster-thon, and field day so long ago. But this is the way of things. Seasons change, things grow and flower. It's part of His grand design. So go ahead, flap really hard as you step off, and don't look down. Keep your eyes above and your hand in His. Flutter on, flutter away.